want to go. But she didn't want that, she wanted to go and stay in touch. She promised to back off some, but she didn't really. At one point, a bouncer came over and told me to put the phone away when I was texting. So I did. I guess he was worried I was taking pictures. No, I wasn't taking pictures, I was staying in touch. Typing this out makes me realize how ridiculous it was. All of this would have been no big deal. These bachelor parties all happened over 10 years ago. Recently, she was talking about her BF's bachelorette party, which was years ago. My wife was the maid of honor. She had always insisted that she never went to a strip club ever. Well, recently, my wife said something about the men pulling her friend up on stage and embarrassing her. I was like, where was this? Even in that moment, I wouldn't have cared that they went to a strip club. I trust her. Or until all this, I fully trusted her. She insisted this was at a typical bachelorette party restaurant, that wasn't a strip club. I don't know what that is. Does anyone know? I said that it felt like she wasn't being honest. She was offended. I said that I thought that the real issue was that she thought I might have put her through the same thing she put me through. I said I didn't like it, but it was so long ago I don't really care. But she doubled and tripled down. So she goes to the other room and texts her BF and comes back and hands me the phone to show me the text. She asks the friend, "Did we go to a strip club for your bachelorette party?" Which seems like an odd question to ask someone out of the blue, and the responses seemed odd. So I asked my wife, "Is this the full text exchange? It feels like something is missing." So I look in her deleted texts, and sure enough there are deleted texts. I restore it and the response from the friend is, "Oh, that is a definite yes." So I look at my wife shocked. I don't even know why she went down this path. She says her friend is wrong. Now I'm annoyed and I'm asking what happened that you would lie about this? What did you do? Horror stories about bachelorette parties are running through my mind. We have an argument over this where I am gaslit to hell. Doesn't remember her friend is wrong, that's why she deleted the text. She didn't cheat or do anything wrong. All the comments about her level of attraction to me come back to my mind. No real resolution, but she promises me that she will figure out exactly happened. Fast forward about a month to a holiday party we went to. We see her BF for the first time in a few months. Of course they talk a lot amongst themselves, which is obviously fine. We leave and 20 minutes later we are in the car driving home and she gets a text. It's from her BF. It includes a screenshot from one of their other friends and the BF text says, "Wife? And I just cannot remember what we did for my bachelorette party. Do you remember?" And the response is this whole description of a comedy show that they went to. The entire thing is so contrived it's almost comical. There is no way this is true, and it is so clear that they discussed this at the party we were just at, and they came up with this plan. I feel so manipulated. My wife is in the passenger seat, and she is almost giddy reading the texts and saying how they have now solved the mystery. I have no idea what happened at that bachelorette party, but the whole story and the lying was so unnecessary. She's still holding firm to her story, whatever it is. I wouldn't have even cared if they went to a strip club because I trusted my wife. But this story has made me lose trust. And now all the abuse over the years is coming back to me and making me see things differently. Have I ever been loved? Is my wife capable of love? Did she cheat on me? Am I the world's biggest fool? I love her and the family we have created. Obviously there are so many positives to our relationship that I didn't list. But can all the positives in the world make up for all this? Edit. First, all comments in the DMs have been so caring and kind. Even the ones trying to smack some sense into me. There is a lot of love out there from kind strangers. Thank you. Based on an exchange in my DMs, I'm sharing that the physical abuse did stop 5 years ago. She worked with her former therapist who specialized in CBT, and she is more in control of herself. I'm not sure she fully acknowledges the pain this has caused me and the kids. And all this other nonsense has continued. I'm not sure this changes anything for me though. Wife's disclosure. I posted several months ago about my 20+ year marriage, and how much nonsense I have put up with. People mostly gave harsh but good advice to me. I wanted to give an update and come back for more advice. This is long, so feel free to skip of the ramblings of a middle-aged dad of 3 aren't of interest to you. So back in February I insisted on a 2-month separation. We told the kids I was traveling for work, and when I was home, that my wife was traveling to meet friends. My wife hated every second of the separation. I had some conditions for returning. We tried marriage counseling again, 3rd counselor. This one was better, I guess. But my requirement was that my wife take the lead, find the therapist, give all the backstory on the abuse, the insults, etc. She did all that. I further insisted that she tell the complete truth on anything inappropriate that has ever happened with another guy, including at her friend's bachelorette party. This took a while. At first she held to the same story. Then she started saying things like she was working on it with her therapist. Working on how to tell me. She somehow didn't understand that a statement like that was awful for me to bear. Obviously my wind went to all the worst places. I ended the separation in April with the idea she was making progress. We discussed her physical abuse of me a lot in therapy. The abuse really peaked in late 2016 to 2018. She told me at that time that she became very resentful of me. I had gotten a promotion and she overall felt everyone thought I was awesome and she was jealous. At the same time she got into excellent shape. She's always been very attractive, but at that time my youngest was like 6 to 8 years old and she still had some baby weight. She shredded that baby weight and looked incredible. I guess I had gained some weight around that time and she thought she didn't get enough attention or credit relative to me. I don't know. She says these things very matter-of-factly. She did a lot of CBT work and specific work for abusive partners. She owned it with the kids and we had several good conversations. I thought we were turning a corner. I had been frustrated by the lack of disclosure on her friend's bachelorette party. So in June I said I was leaving again. She actually handled this much more calmly and maturely. We still saw each other and even did date nights. We were even intimate. Not sure what the separation was. So she said she would focus on what happened and was getting ready to share anything and everything with me. A couple of weeks ago she asked me to join a session with her therapist. She wanted to do a therapeutic disclosure. I wanted to throw up. I go to the therapist's office and she proceeds to tell me how at her friend's actual bachelorette, they went to some show, no strippers, just drinking and silliness. Then she says that her friend's work friends threw her a bachelorette at a hotel. And there were strippers there. In my wife's words, it was wild. Now, context for this is in my prior post. I really don't care if she saw strippers. I care more about the double standard she applied and the lying, as she treated me like crap whenever friends of mine went to strip clubs for their bachelor parties. She said that she never touched any stripper even though multiple approached her many times, at first in G-strings and eventually fully naked. Lovely. But that's all that happened. Who knows if it's true? I don't care anymore for reasons I'm about to get into. This is all in front of this therapist. So then she says that I asked if there was anything with any guy that she hasn't told me. If this wasn't long enough, brace yourselves. She had this other friend who was in the middle of a divorce in 2016. Friend was a fitness instructor at a gym. Friend met a retired professional athlete at the gym. I remember the friend being obsessed with this guy, all while technically still married. Well, my wife and this friend would go out and meet up with retired athlete and his entourage. My wife would effectively play wingman for her friend. And one of the entourage took an interest in my wife. My wife claims nothing ever happened other than flirting, but that when they were out, this guy always had his arm around my wife, constantly groped her ass, often tried to kiss her, sent dick pics, bought her a thong bikini for her to send pics back to him. My wife said she never wanted it but never fought it, liked the attention and mostly wanted to support her friend. Friend eventually had a falling out with the retired athlete who moved away. So that whole thing sucks. So I'm completely stunned. Wife is crying. Therapist is spewing some nonsense about my wife's bravery. That I requested disclosure of anything that might have been remotely inappropriate, and she has come through for me. I leave. Wife follows. Phone starts blowing up. It's my wife's best friend who calls 10 times. She then starts texting me, swearing to me that what my wife is saying is true. There were strippers at Bach party number 2 but wife did nothing. Texts start pouring in from her other friends confirming this story. And then I get a text from her friend who paired up with the athlete. And she confirms that story. Wife was only doing her a solid, taking one for the team. So great. Let's get a few more people involved in my life, my humiliation, the crumbling of my marriage. She could talk to all these other people about all this but not me. She needed a therapist there to talk to me about it. It just feels like one big manipulation. So anyway, I feel completely done. I still love my wife because I guess I'm just a simp. We are separated. I have spoken to a lawyer. My kids know and are furious with me because I am the one leaving. Be kind to your partners, people. Love them and respect them. I adored my partner and still do, but it wasn't enough.